Greetings, greetings, peace and blessings. I am so excited to share one of my divination practices with you. So I created this journal and it's called the Major Key Divination Journal. And it was created out of actually something that I channeled, but I created it because I wanted a particular place for my card of the day practice. So I would journal each day, like what is the key energy that's going to be impacting me. And as I did this in my regular journal, it started expanding and I was getting like different messages on how to really understand and integrate these energies. I will say since I've done this practice, it has really just been phenomenal. So I just kind of wanted to share what that looks like. So let me show you the journal first and foremost. So it's got this little page here. There's a calendar page, a little bit about me. And what I love the most is that because the way that this spread grew was just really beautiful. So each month I choose what decks that I'm going to work with. So there's the oracles that I'll use for the key themes and then the daily decks. So the key theme, there is the major key, which is like the overall energy that's going to be impacting me. Then there's the guiding energy, which is the energy that will help essentially guide me through the month. And then there is the spiritual path, which highlights where I am on my spiritual journey, what I need to focus on my path. And then there's the healing path. So that could relate to shadow work, any challenges within myself that I need to heal or work on. Then I choose the deck and the tarot and oracle deck that I'm going to work with each month. And sometimes it changes. So even if I put a particular tarot deck, I might decide throughout the month, like, oh, I want to use this deck. So I don't go back and forth about that too much. I just, change it up when I need to. So the major key monthly divination starts out basically with 4 oracle cards that gives me the overall theme and focus for the month. So instead of just pulling a random card of the day, that card is informed upon by these oracle messages essentially. And this spread was created with the guidance and support of my ancestors, specifically during a very challenging time in my life. So I wanted to pick up on the major key energy to focus on, and I did that, and it's been super transformational. So this journal, I believe, has 6 months worth of divination practices in it, and I'm trying to find the March section because that is what I'm working on right now. Most often I'm able to do this daily. The changes that have happened in my life most recently have gotten me off track with the practice. So now that we are in the month of March, one of the intentions I have for myself is to anchor back into this practice. Oh, I think I skipped March. Hold on. So I want to find the pages. There we go. So yeah, it's a pretty thick journal, but I love it. I need to make some updates to it. It is on Amazon, but it hasn't been officially published because I want to make some changes to it. Before I publish any of my journals, I like to make sure that they work for me in the way that I need them to. So these are the decks that I have decided to use for the month of March. In this pouch is, my mommy gave me this, is my Spiritual Love Ancestral Oracle. So that's going to be my major key energy. My ancestors always have a lot to say, so I'm going to use that. The guiding energy is going to be this deck. I don't know that I've worked with this one, but it's the Ask Your Guides Oracle by Sonia Choquette. I have used this. It's just been a minute. So that's going to be the guiding energy. The Spiritual Path Oracle, because I'm focusing on certain things will be the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And the Healing Path is going to be the Healing Waters Oracle, which is an amazing deck. I love, love, love her decks. So those are the 4 oracles, and I decided on using the African Goddess Rising Oracle and the Gaian Tarot for my daily decks this month. And like I said, that can absolutely change. So that is kind of how this process starts. Is I sit and figure out what decks do I want to work with, and how I do that, it's either which ones are jumping out at me, which ones do I want to work with, or which one would really help highlight the intention. So for the major key, that was really easy. I use this deck. Normally I use it as my daily oracle, and I may switch it up. We'll see. And the guiding energy, I was like, okay, I want my guides to guide me. So boom, why not use this deck? I chose the Rose because this one I've had some really profound experience with, as far as like spiritual path and spiritual practices, and then the Healing Waters for the Healing Path because healing. So that's how and why I chose those particular decks. And next, what I do is I will sit and I will pull in the energy of March. I'll think about all the things that I have coming up. I will think about the astrology of the month, just to pull all of this into my intention as I'm shuffling and setting the intention to figure out what are these major themes and how will they integrate into my daily life. And then I'll pull a card for each, and then I will journal on the overall message. I'm trying to decide if for this page, because it's already a pretty chunky journal, so I'm trying to decide if I would like to have a page like this for each individual card and then have an overall message. But so far this has been working for me, and then I just scribble. If I have a lot more insights that come up, I'll just write wherever I need to. So yeah, and then after that it gets into, this is what the key energy, daily key energy looks like. So there's the key energy of the day, which I would shuffle my ancestral oracle and pull that card, and then I'll use, or excuse me, because I said the African Goddess Rising is the daily oracle. So I would shuffle this and pull a card from there, or this one, just whichever one. I don't stress too much about what deck I use. And then I will use the Gaian Tarot to further dive into the message that is coming up for the day. And then I will journal that, use that to like set my intention, move about the day with that particular energy. So yeah, that is pretty much it as how I use the Major Key Divination Tarot and Oracle Journal created by yours truly. I really love this. I'm grateful that my ancestors are always there for me, and that what started out as just me being intentional about pulling a card a day became a very deeply spiritual practice that goes beyond just pulling a card and actually working with the energies of the month. There was one month when I used the Santa Muerte Tarot and the Oracle, as well as like some other decks, and it was very interesting. But I do like sticking with the monthly Tarot and Oracle deck, because of when you work with one deck for a extended period of time, it's easier to pick up on the nuances, repetitive cards, and different things like that. So that's something to really be mindful of as well. So yeah, this helps me not only like kind of do a tarot study, but it's just a very practical way of me expanding my tarot practice and having fun while doing it. So yeah, I love making tarot journals. This is one of 3 that I have. So maybe I will share those other ones with you in the near future as well. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into my practice. Feel free to stick around if you want to see how that goes. So this month, it looks like for me a lot of shadow work, which is actually something that came up in my New Year reading that I got done for myself this year. So I'm really excited that this came up because it's given me the opportunity to work on things. So something that I liked was shame. This is actually something that I've dealt a lot with, and probably still have some more things to work through. But what I thought was really beautiful is that shame, you see, like the healers, right? They're giving love, like there's nothing to be ashamed about. And like being a healer and like having healed myself through things and being able to heal others, but also allowing myself to release whatever it is that needs to be released. But what I'm seeing is that this shame kind of puts me into this super protective mode with myself. And so it's also, right, having boundaries, but also knowing when to relax them, because sometimes we can be so protective of ourselves that we don't let anyone or anything in because we're chopping everything off. So it's like learning from those past mistakes in order to trust that, number one, spirit and my guides, that they have me. And so I don't need to be on go mode all the time. Like I can relax and let things go. And the beautiful thing is that this also talks about releasing shame and forgiveness and being loving, and that you are whole and holy and sacred and pure and true, and that we never lost that. And on the other side of that healing is the remembrance, is the knowing, it's the wisdom and the great blessings that come out of releasing all of this. So this was truly beautiful and powerful, which is why I love doing this reading for myself every month. So the guiding energy is this. There is some anger and shame that has come up, which I'm just now connecting the dots to a recent experience that I've had that's brought up some old things to deal with. And Spirit is saying it's time to let it go. It's time to release those things. And my spiritual path is that of healing the shame. Like it's very clear here. And forgiveness, being gentle with myself as well as others. It's not just me that I need to forgive. There are others as well that I need to forgive and be gentle with. So it's bringing up a few key areas of my life. So in the daily portion of this, I put the key areas that I wanted to focus on for my life, which was money, devotion, which is my spiritual practices. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. There's money, devotion, business, and love. So I might scratch these out and put the 4 things that were coming up when I was thinking about what it is I need to do this shadow work on. So I might change that so I can do a little more in-depth on that. And that's the beautiful thing about this journal, is that I can decide to either keep focusing on these key areas, or if I need to dive deep into something, I can change it up. So that is what I'm going to be doing. So I did get started on this a little late, so that means I've got to backtrack for March 1st, 2nd, and then the 3rd, and then be intentional about sitting down with this practice every day. So what I do is I have some of these card holders, and I like to keep the cards of the month out so that I can see the energy that I'm working with. So like I'll stick these 2 in here. I don't know where my other ones are since I've moved. Certain things I cannot find. So I'm gonna just do like this for right now. And then I need to find the other ones so I can put these cards in there as well. But these can sit here for right now. And that way, when I'm sitting with my card of the day, I can look at these monthly energies and kind of tie everything back together. But yeah, it's just showing like it's time for me to let it go, like release whatever it is that I'm feeling. Because once I do that, that will get me back into a more open and receptive state a more empowered state as well with the rose garden and the wishing well. And I think it's beautiful because a wishing well has water in it. And what do plants need? They need water to grow. And the card talks about how, we would speak our wishes, right? We can program water. And so doing this cleansing energy, it's just going to open up the door for a lot of beautiful things to happen in my life. So I'm excited and grateful to have shared this part of my practice with you. I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot of in-depth reading, and the way that I'm feeling a little bit tired after doing this, I can tell that this is going to be a heavier month. Ironically, since we've started Pisces season, I have been very, very emotional. And I know I'm not the only one because other people that I've been chatting with and talking to have been feeling all the feels too. So I think because of that, this is probably why these emotional type of things came up for me. Also on the bottom of this deck, it was like the mother lineage or healing the mother line. And then this one was transformation. So again, those themes really just tied everything together. Thank you for watching. If you're interested to know more about my journals, I'll put a link in the description for you below. Again, this was the Major Key Divination Journal, one of the journals that I have created for my own practice.